This message is brought to you by UNDP Caribbean and this station. The United Nations Development Programme Governance Project was designed with a view toward creating future leaders and encouraging youth participation in global, regional and national issues, such as the Millennium Development Goals. The Caribbean network of UNDP offices and the Trinidad-based Caribbean Sub-Regional Facility, or CERF, have been working with youth leaders across the region to ensure they are prepared to take up the challenge of being the leaders of tomorrow. Tricia Bruce, one of the youth enrolled in the project, shares her hope and vision for her country, Trinidad and Tobago, and the Caribbean as a whole.
As young people on a whole, we need to recognize our roles that we have to play in the decision-making of our society, our Caribbean. We are very vital to that role. We are the leaders of tomorrow, and we need to take up the challenge and be participants of decision-making. We need to make that claim and go for the challenge.
Chesley Charles and his peers were brimming over with ideas on how they could make St. Vincent a better place, but they lacked the knowledge required for implementation.
Most of the organization that I'm in, we have a limited understanding of what we are supposed to do. I recognize that just by being a part of this program. And I want now to take all of the training that I've received and go right back into my community and help the groups to implement, these structures and help the groups to have an aim. Because that's the main thing that's killing us right now, a vision towards productivity.
Hailing from Suriname, Kirti Algoa shares how she will use the knowledge she gained from the governance project to include community-based organizations, or CBOs, in the governance process.
The government, the private sector, they cannot achieve the MDGs by themselves. So they need the support of the local people. So by involving the CBOs, you are like approaching the ordinary people and involving them in all kinds of processes. So with this training, we need to empower, we are able to empower the CBOs, and by that we can give our message to the ordinary people, and by that we can build whole Suriname.
Danny Butcher says his most valuable lesson coming out of the project has been learning the difference between government and governance. And governance is something he intends to practice when he becomes one of St. Lucia's leaders.
To me, I see government as the old way, the archive way of running the system. You have ministers of cabinet who make the decisions, then they tell the people this is what we are going to do, as opposed to governance, which takes into consideration accountability and transparency, a vision, most importantly, and interacting with the people. Whatever you do, the people should be the center focus, and that's governance. I would make sure that the organization that I belong to, that I am accountable, that I am transparent in my decisions, that most importantly, I have a vision. Because if there is no vision, then the people perish.
We often hear that youth are not interested in development and the issues affecting their communities today. But what the UNDP governance program demonstrates is that there is talent to be unleashed and a whole lot of energy, which the Caribbean can tap into through its youth. Through this governance program, change is happening in the Caribbean. Tomorrow's leaders are beginning to lead today. Message was brought to you by UNDP Caribbean and this station.